All right. Thanks, everyone. Damon Pistolka here with the Eggs Your Way Roundtable. With me today, I've got Michael Rivera. Michael, welcome to the Roundtable.
Thanks, Damon. I really appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to a fun and insightful conversation.
Yeah. Well, cool, Michael. It's good to finally get you on here. We connected a while back on LinkedIn and have kind of exchanged things back and forth, and it's good to get to know you a little bit better in the calls before this, and then in prep for this, and today it's going to be fun too. So, um, tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, what whereabouts are you at in the country? Your background, kind of what brought you kind of where you are now?
So I'm Michael Rivera. I live in a small town called Orangeburg, South Carolina, somewhat in the middle of the state, between the capital, Columbia, and the big port city of Charleston. During the day, I am a financial advisor and I help people have total clarity and confidence in their financial future. And in doing that for 4+ years, I found out that people were more than just numbers on a piece of paper and they needed help in other areas. So I started my own side business called True Life Planners, where I'm a life planner and I help people to plan all the other areas of their life so that way it's working cohesively together and they're experiencing what they truly desire.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. So, did you grew up in the area there? You close to where you grew up, or how did that work for you?
So I moved down to South Carolina when I was about four. So I just say I'm from
Yeah.
from South Carolina. Grew up in the same town, a little small town outside of it. Grew up there as well. So pretty much been here all my life. But
Nice.
I've worked all over the state being an advisor. I travel all over. I have friends all over the state. So pretty much just been around here for all my life.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. And I growing up in the Midwest, I'm not there anymore, and I know a lot of people like where I live are transplants. So, do you find that there are a lot of transplants where you live, or because it's a smaller town, it's a lot of people that have been there their whole life, or what do you really find?
I mean, I guess in my smaller town, it's normally majority of the people are kind of been here, and their families
Mm-hmm.
just stay around here. But
That's
then
cool.
there's a large population, especially in the bigger cities like Columbia and Charleston, especially down in the Low Country. A lot of people come from New York and New Jersey to retire down here. And,
Yeah,
a lot of my clients, I'd say the vast majority are transplants from up north or even the
yeah.
Midwest as well.
Yeah. Well, I've known that way. Actually, it's older people that live in the Northeast that they move to. Well, most people think of Florida, but really South Carolina and Georgia and Florida. It's all nice for retiring. So that's cool. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So when you've been in financial planning for a while now, so what really intrigued you and made you want to go into financial planning?
that's a great question. I get it all the time, and my answer is I always knew I wanted to do business. My dad's an acupuncturist. I did not want to go in the medical field at all.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I grew up in his small practice and seeing a small business run. And he had a friend who was an advisor, and we were on a trip. It was a father son trip, and I said, his name was Tim. I said, what do you do for a living? And he told me he was a financial advisor. I said, huh, sounds pretty interesting. I'd like to know
yeah,
more.
yeah.
So he kind of took me under his wing while I was in college and taught me the business. And just being in that small business atmosphere, I saw my dad. He's really good at what he does. But when it comes to finances and planning and things like that, that
Oh
is
yeah,
not his forte.
oh
So I
yeah,
said, I would love to help people do that because
yeah,
I'm good with numbers. I love to help people and I'm a people person. So that just really is kind of how I got into business, just wanting to help people in those areas because everybody's good at something, and
Yes.
people aren't good at everything. I'm not good at everything, and I'll be the first to admit it. I'm good at what I'm good at, but I need help in other areas. So I found out what I was good at, and just wanted to help people basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So now when you're doing that, I guess what really makes when you go, wow, this is why I do this. What is that moment that makes you realize that now this is why I do this?
It's really for me when I sit down with a new client. It's and the first thing is immediately they kind of think I'm gonna get down to the nitty gritty, and I don't. It probably the first 30 minutes to an hour is just simply getting to know them, and I just enjoy that getting to know that person, and then finding out what they want in life, and then seeing how I can help them do that financially. It gives me a lot of joy to be able to say, hey, let me analyze what you have, and if it's good, we'll keep it the way it is. But if it's not, then let's find something better. And once we find something better for them, and I explain it to them completely, and you just see that light bulb moment and that smile on their face, and it's just they have that clarity, they have that confidence, and
Yes.
I always tell them, hey, I'm not here to be transactional. I want to build a relationship, be with you every step of the way, and I'm gonna be here for you. I want to be have that relationship, be friends and things, and just when they get that satisfaction, and they know that I'm committed to them as a person, then it's just that gives me the ultimate joy, and it makes me feel fulfilled that I help them achieve something pretty much.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's good because I can hear it in your voice, and I can imagine the sense of a satisfaction for you because you know you're helping people, and the sense of relief from them that someone really is going to help them with this because it is difficult. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So let's kick back to a little bit of LinkedIn stuff. So how long have you been active on LinkedIn? What do you think are good and bad points about it?
So I've had a LinkedIn for many years, and I've I've only been active on LinkedIn for about a year. It was August of last year. Before that, it was just a resume like
Yep.
everybody else, And thankfully, my last two financial advising positions came from LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But I'm in a specialized industry. I have specific certifications and licenses that they look for. So I was
Yeah.
grateful for that. But we used to have this content that was just pre-populated. You could throw it up there, and
Yeah.
it really wasn't helpful for people. So last August I started looking at other people's content. I said, I'm just gonna share my story, share experiences, little tips and things like that. And I just started doing that, and it just kept building and building and building. And then I just saw that there's this massive opportunity to connect with people all over the world and create these awesome relationships. And it's just been the ultimate blessing. From 1 year, August was a year, and I look back and I said, wow, I've come this far. I had less than 500 connections last year,
Oh
and
wow.
now I'm like I have 15,000 followers, and I'm just so
Wow.
grateful for everybody because they're just
Yeah.
everybody's helpful. Majority of people, I'd say 99% on LinkedIn, are genuine, real people who want to help you, and I
Yeah.
truly believe that, and I've just had an awesome experience.
That's cool. That's cool. So when you're on LinkedIn, what are the kinds of content that really draw you in that you like?
Yeah, I like the ones that I really like. I like to see the ones about like recruiting and helping people with jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
Financial, of course, but just the real life stuff. People who are straight to the point. They don't beat around the bush. They're pushing their product. I mean, I have
Yeah.
nothing wrong with somebody promoting their business. Everybody
Yeah.
should do that, but they're really out there saying, hey, this worked for me, this didn't work for me, I'm going to share it, and let you get some value from it. That's the kind of content I
Yeah.
really like. People who don't beat around the bush.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think now we see a lot of it. Uh, I really like what you said, where you see people helping others try to find a job because now especially with COVID and how many people are out of work, that's a real pain for a lot of people. But when you add on the things like, as I talked to Curtis Tompkins a while ago about the applicant tracking systems and formatting resumes, and it's funny, I was talking to Ira Bowman about it, who has Project Help You Grow, yesterday about it again, and he was explaining to me some of the intricate details of it and how he's going to produce a video that's going to, explain it a bit better. And he was going through it with me, and I'm like, man, there is, you can have the perfect resume, you can be the right fit for a job, and never even get considered. And I think that, it's got to frustrate a ton of people because it's added in, and I understand on the hiring side, right? And Kelly Robinson, I think she just posted something about this yesterday, or we were talking a while ago too. She said, you can get thousands of resumes now for a single position, and you just can't, you can't go through that many. You just can't go through that many. And so I understand the applicant tracking systems. They need to try to find who's the best for it. But it adds another layer for the job seeker that I think it adds a lot of difficulty, that it almost makes it necessary for you to hire somebody to help you do what you need to do. It is challenging. It is challenging, but I do really like, I'm with you 100%. And the sharing and the things that you'll find people helping other people with on LinkedIn is really that's the attraction for me too. It really is.
Yeah, and I just saw, I think it was a day or two ago, Ira put on there a good post, and I learned something from it. And I'm very good at applications and interviews and things like that. But he said something about put your resume in Microsoft Word or text file.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing was, is I told him this, I said, I'm so glad you said this, because a lot of people are out there saying use PDF.
Yes.
and a lot of people are getting, their resumes are never getting through for that fact.
Yes.
With Ira, I'm so happy you put this out there, because I learned something new, and I can only imagine what everybody else.
Yeah. That was a good one, because I think back to years ago when I was looking for work, it was PDFs got sent, because you didn't want anybody messing with your resume,
Exactly.
But that is pretty cool, and I did see that one too. So when you're in South Carolina and you're thinking of sports, what's the sport that comes to mind for you?
Well, obviously, of course, football. Football is the sport, but if you're gonna go out and play it, for me, it's golf. I love golf. I don't do it as much as I should, but it's a fun time. You get to be with other people, and also you get to talk a lot of business too.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time all the way around.
Well, in the Southeast, golf is it's reasonably affordable, and B, you can play it for most of the year. That's the nice thing, and there's a lot of good courses.
Oh yeah, tons. I can't remember the number. There's hundreds of golf courses in South Carolina. It's very popular around here. Very popular.
Yeah. So let's back up to, you said football. Now I just want to make sure that everybody knows this is college football territory. We're not talking about pro football. So what's your college football team?
So my college football team is the great University of Clemson. And I have been a Clemson fan for almost 15 years. So I'm not one of those who recently liked Clemson. I saw a lot of the ugly, and so I am happy and proud that we are doing well, because I endured a lot of ugly.
Yeah. Well, it's always good, man, when you see them come out, and they've been playing strong the last years and stuff, and you do see the fair weather fans, and that's good. And well, I don't know if you know Nick Dorsey, but Nick Dorsey and I have been Seahawks fans. He's been a long time, lifelong fans. I've been up here 20 years now, and been a season ticket holder for 15 or something like that. But we did with the Seahawks too. We saw that when we won the Super Bowl the last time. It was like fair weather fans like crazy, but we sat through the years where we were like 4-12, and that kind of stuff just is crazy stuff. So, but anyway, yeah. This is the wonderful thing of live and being in my in-laws. Their phone actually rings in the house yet, so I'm going to mute for just a minute. There we go. We're back off on that. It was going to say somebody's number and all that stuff. It's so funny, so funny. I think that the last time I heard a voice, an answering machine go, I was here. So
Oh yeah, my mom still has her home phone. I just have the cell phone, and I tell her,
yeah,
"Mom, you still have that home phone." She just won't get rid of it. Won't get
yeah,
rid of
yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But anyway, so Clemson now. What's the season look like this year? Are you guys playing inter league or whatever you call it in division, or what are you guys doing?
Yeah. They're playing 11 games total,
Yeah,
10 conference games, and then one non-conference. But of course, they wanted that to be against South Carolina.
yeah.
But South Carolina was the only team that voted for that in the SEC. Everybody voted against it. So, we're playing a small school called the Citadel, which is
Oh
a
yeah.
military
Yep.
school in Charleston.
Yep.
But they're also playing Notre Dame, which is going to be part of the ACC for this year. So it's
Yeah.
supposed to be Saturday. We'll see what happens. Who knows what it'll look like.
Yeah. 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 That's cool. That's cool. It's always a good time down there. Now, there's another sport down there that I was indoctrinated into when I lived in Tennessee for a while, and that's NASCAR. I mean, you're right. I mean, you're in South Carolina and North Carolina. It's maybe even a little bigger, but you're in the middle of that as well.
Oh yeah. I've never been, a big NASCAR guy, but I do know people who go to any race they can get their hands on,
Yeah.
whether it's
Yeah.
go karts or
Yep.
drag strip, and
Yeah.
I like to see who wins, but I don't know if I can sit there for a couple hours watching them go round and round. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like anything. It's like people say that about golf and other things too. It's like, how do you ever play golf? And until you play it, and hell, I've got friends that watch it on TV, so that's still hard for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I don't get much joy out of that. I prefer
yeah,
to be out there.
yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Well, the other thing I was going to ask you about, so in life planning, we're talking, your day job, financial planner. That's pretty cut and dried. People understand that. So what are you doing with somebody in the life planning part of it?
So basically, what I've done is, and this is something I did in my own life, is, I took every component of my life, professionally, personally, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, health,
Yeah,
everything like that. And, I took a step back and I said, but what do I want to experience and how do I want to experience it? A lot of people go about their lives and they have their one person at work and then their one person at home.
mm-hmm,
And I said, I don't want to be that. I want to be the same person all the
mm-hmm,
time. And I get it sometimes, we have to be more professional, and I understand that. But, I just simply wanted to make sure that everything I'm doing at work is coexisting and working cohesively with everything at home and vice versa,
yeah,
to get me to that ultimate goal. So, I said I'd love to help people do this same thing because time after time, I've been there. I went to work and I throw that smile on my face when I'm not happy,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I go through my day and then I get home and I'm just like, phew, I'm so glad I could take this tie off and just be myself. And I said, why can't it just be? Why can't I be myself at work? And my clients love it when I'm just my actual self and I'm sitting there. We're joking around, having a good time and things like that. And everybody should be able to experience, hey, say, I want to be this person all the time and experience life the way that I prefer it. So that's basically why I got into it.
yeah, yeah. So when you're helping people go through this process, is there an assessment that you're going to do with them, or how does it kind of work?
Yeah, so basically, what I like to do is, we split it up into sections. The very first section is what is your intention with creating this life plan? Why do you want it? Why do you want a life plan? And that's the very
Yeah.
first thing. If you don't have a good why, then there's really nothing we can do at that point. And once you get that point, then you want to have a why for every single section. And the thing about it is, for myself, I have my family, my two, businesses, my health, and just, my intellectual stuff, like reading, things like that, and growth and things of that nature. And I just, you go through all those areas and make sure that every little piece that you're doing in each of those areas is getting you to that ultimate intention of why you want to experience life this particular way. My great one of my great mentors is my girlfriend's father, and he said, never do something that you don't prefer to do. And so that's why I just try to, show people, hey, you can experience life the way that you want to prefer. And you could be, sometimes you're going to run into situations where you have to do stuff you don't want to do, but majority of the time you can find ways to do things the way you want to do them, as long as you're
Yeah.
kind and nice to people. And so basically, we just go through finding out why they want their life to be a particular way, and then we break it down into small chunks so we can deal with it that way. And then we have to create those action steps. Each section has to have an action step to how we're going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have to create a plan on how to follow through with it. And, it's an ongoing thing, just like financial planning, review.
Yeah.
Things are going to change.
Yep.
One of the only keys of planning is it's not going to go as planned, And
Yeah.
so you just got to roll punches and just do your best and make sure we're taking an
Yep. Yep. I don't know what that is, if that's on my end or your end, Michael. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
I think we're back now. I don't know what
There we
happened.
go.
It
But
looks like Ira's on. There he is.
oh, there he is. All right. Yes, he is. Yeah, seeing me from the road. Yeah, yeah. Ira's gonna give me hell about that because of the phone ringing in the back for sure. Because he is very good at this, and I'm very hackish, and I admit it, and I laugh at it because, well, people that know me know that I just do it because I think it's fun and I like to talk to people. So, not that we're going to be good at it. It's like you never know what we're going to be talking about. That's for sure. So I could, the thing I was thinking as you were telling me about your planning and how you do this is that I can hear you and Thane talk to each other once in a while because some of this the stuff comes out. I can hear some of the same words in the same way. I can tell that why you guys enjoy each other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Me
yeah,
and Thane, we connected a long time ago, and we kind of just hit it off like that. And we get along so great because we just have that similar mindset, and it's like we've known each other for years. It's just crazy,
yeah.
And he's a great guy. He's always happy to help, and he just has a really good mindset about things and a lot of wisdom to provide.
Super dude, man. I enjoy the hell out of him, and and the just it's good. And there again, I bring this up because it's such a great example. The two of you meeting like you did on LinkedIn, and then talking, and now working together and helping people. And so you guys actually are doing something together, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we have started. It's still in the early stages, but
Yeah,
a mastermind group. Basically, we understand. Hey, he's doing his own thing, and I'm doing my own thing. But
yeah,
it gets lonely out there sometimes. And so
yeah,
me and him kind of came together and said, hey, how can we help each other out by sharing our experiences? So we created this mastermind group, and we're looking to grow that to get more people who want to help others succeed and be fully committed. a
Yeah.
lot of people join these groups, and then some show up, some don't, but it's just basically, you want to help other people grow and be committed, and keep each other accountable, basically. And so that's what we've created, and we're looking to grow that as quickly as possible, and help the right kind of people with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's good. I mean, because you are 100% right that um, if you're a solopreneur, it is a slog when you're or even like yourself, if you're working in a company but you're independent, you're an independent person in your company. It's not like you got a team that you're working with every day and those kind of things. It's tough, and sometimes those kind of mentor peer groups are very, very vital to being able to keep your mind right, and like you said, accountability helps a lot. That's for sure. That's for sure. So the the one of the things that I was going to ask you. So what when you're helping others with life planning, what are one of the things that you've realized that you want to do?
Yeah, one of the things that I realize is, I want more of that freedom. Especially during this time, what I found out is that most of my business used to be in person, and I enjoy that. Don't get me wrong, but during this time, I've done everything virtually, and it's just really allowed me to have a lot more freedom in my life. I had a ton of freedom because I'm basically my own boss, even in my
Yes.
financial advising. But I was driving an hour and a half each way to appointments.
Yeah.
And so now I can work from home, and be on video, and I have gotten so many new clients who I will probably honestly never meet in person. And guess what? They are okay with that. They say it's much easier for me to hop on a call than for us to set up
Yep.
a time, get ready, and make sure that we can meet there. Maybe they have to clean their house, I don't know. But
Yeah.
I've learned that when people show me what they want to experience, I say, huh, I've never thought of that way. And a lot of times people that I work with are saying, hey, I want to have a full online virtual business so that way I can work from wherever in the world. And I said, wow, that's very cool. I would love that. So that's one of the things that I kind of took away from it, saying, hey, I can do what I do normally, but I can do it basically from anywhere, and it
Yeah.
allows me a lot more free time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Well, I don't think I know a lot of people have. This is the COVID has brought that realization to people. Is that, yeah, we all crave for and enjoy the personal interaction, and we also have seen how remote work can give us that freedom. I mean, in our company, we started at the beginning of 2019 implementing remote work because we had people living all over. And really by the middle of 2019, we were doing most of our work remote. And now we obviously, because of COVID, we do it 100% right now. But I don't know that we'll go much. We'll go see people once a quarter or once a month or something like that, depending upon what we need to do. But it really does allow you the freedom, and give an example is I we're considering living in Mexico part of the year just because we can. Your phone rings just like you're sitting at your place now or my house now, and the internet works just fine. So we could do this stuff from wherever we want to, which is really, as you said, it's freeing because even if you work 12 hours, but you were in a place that you really wanted to be, it's a lot better when you're not.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, and that's one of the things me and my girlfriend wanted to do as well. Her father and some of her siblings live in Hawaii, and we love
Oh yeah.
South Carolina, and so we've kind of wanted, or our one of our goals is to do kind of that same thing, and live part of the time in Hawaii, and just simply, I love what I do and I love my work, but it's nice that I can get off a call, and go in the kitchen, and talk to my girlfriend, or get
Oh yeah.
a drink of my own water, my own food,
Yeah.
and I have two cats, and I get to just hang out with them all day long, and help people at the same time. I mean, you can't get it better than that.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's it, and it is. I know there's a lot of and this is for the people out there too, as much as anyone, there's a lot of frustration now. There's a lot of frustration in this. We're stuck at home. We got the kids at home trying to learn in a lot of instances, or maybe not, but all these different challenges. But you brought up one thing that I think is always helps the ground and always helps me to feel better is like, you don't get this time forever. And even as bad as COVID is and the loss of life and all that, there are good things out of it. And you mentioned one of them, you're being with your girlfriend, you're at home with your cats and I had several months this year with my adult kids because they, kind of moved back in with us and it was nice. I gotta say, it was nice because you got your family around you and the people, as much as you can appreciate that little bit because they're going to drive you crazy like they always have. But remember that this is a special time, I think.
Oh yeah. I definitely agree with that. One of the, like you said, the key takeaway is that it really has shown us what is really important in life. The work and the cars, the houses, none of that really matters. It's the family and the people that you care about, and getting that time, is there's nothing better than it. And I think this time really has made us all take a step back and realize what's really important.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, they make us realize what's really important, and I think the remote work has allowed them to realize they can work and enjoy their life a bit more or differently. And I think it's great. I think it's great. I'm really wondering, what we're going to look like a year from now, because people aren't going to want to go back. It's kind of like once you've experienced something for this long, are you really going to want to crawl on that train, on that bus, in that car, drive that hour to work and back? And how are you going to feel about that after 3 months of doing that again?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think that, especially my industry, the financial industry, they're going to, and they are right now, they've already gotten a big wake up call, and I've a lot of advisors. You have two categories. You have the ones that are enjoying it like me, and then you have the ones who are so upset. They were so distraught. They wanted to get back in the office. Our offices are still closed. Some advisors can go in there, but I'm like, hey, I don't need to go to the office. I have nothing to do there. I have my own office at my house. I can literally do everything I need from here, and I don't have to drive an hour and a half to the office and sit in traffic.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I think that people are going to either be one way or the other, and I think it's going to be for the better, honestly.
Yeah. Well, Ira says that he what do you say here, that I've heard here, and see, now he's going to bust my chops again because I'm not putting up the comments like I'm like I should be. But this is a good thing, and I know there's a lot of people like this. I know Nick Dorsey was talking about it. What was it, Tuesday, when he was on his live about going back to work and being back in the corporate offices where he works there at Carvana. He was like, man, I'm like one of a few on a whole floor, and and maybe that is how it will be. Is introverts will stay home and extroverts will go back. I don't know. Who knows? But
yeah, who knows? I like to get out sometimes. I'm kind of a mix between the two. I do enjoy the personal interaction, but I definitely see the benefit of the remote work and the freedom.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of 50-50.
Oh, I hope they come back. Yeah, exactly. I hope they come back with some sort of happy medium because, me being coming from business management and thinking about that and leadership and stuff, I think it would be really nice if we would, in the U.S., come up with more of a flex schedule where, and I don't mean it in the way that we've used it in the past, but I mean in like I work on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the office this week, and maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the office next week. So I can essentially, from the business owner standpoint or the business standpoint, I can reduce my commercial the square footage in my commercial lease space, which saves a ton of money. And maybe we have a flex day every couple of weeks where we've got, most of the people come in for a few hours to do a team meeting, whatever we got to do. I just think that there's a huge opportunity now for businesses that are really embracing this to come up with a new work life balance that that really allows people to enjoy a lot more time while actually giving more for the business.
Oh yeah.
Because in my situation here in Seattle, there are people that they're literally commuting 3 to 4 hours a day, and if you took 2 days a week of that away, that's a lot of time, and it's noticeable in this in getting things done, and time with your family, and time with just other preparation time that I think would be really welcomed by a lot of people.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
it
I 100% agree with that.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So since you're in financial planning, are you a market guy? I mean, you watch the markets a lot. How does that work? I mean,
So, my business is primarily long-term retirement planning and wealth accumulation. One thing I've learned is you can never time the market.
oh
And
yeah,
some people get lucky, and I kudos to them. You guys rock. But
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, my thing is this: is always think about the long term, at least 5, 10, 20 years from now, and stay to your course. Do what you feel is right. One of my mentors has said before. Pass the sleep test. If at night you feel like, okay, I can have this much money in the market, and I can wake up and it can all be gone and I'll be okay. If you can't, then maybe you need to change something. It's
yeah,
all about your preference. People ask me all the time, well, what do you think? What strategy is better? And I said, well, I can show you strategies all day long. But it's your money. You need to do what you feel is right. I'm going to show you the best of the best, but I'm not going to sit here and say you have to do this because it's what you feel comfortable with.
yeah,
I have all the models, I have all the quote, allocations that people should have, but none of that matters if you don't feel okay with it at night,
yeah,
And so that's what I always say to people is, and the thing about the market, the news always makes it worse than it really is. They always talk about the Dow, that's 30 stocks. You might not have none of those. You might have one of them.
yeah,
You got to
yeah,
look at what you have. I've seen it time and time again. The market's down and somebody's portfolio's up. It's just,
yeah,
you never know. You never know. Always focus on what you have and your plan, basically.
yeah. Well, my father has traded for years, and he always says that the first thing you do when you trade for a living is you turn off CNBC. Because they have to make news, and that's the thing that with most financials now, they have to make news. They have to keep the eyeballs on the screen, and as you said, it is a long term play. It is finding the companies that are doing things right, and that, but it is an interesting time because I haven't looked at, I don't really follow the market like you. I'm in it for the long term, so I don't. But it is interesting how the times have changed in that, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's exciting time to be alive. It's crazy. Everything was in the crapper in March, and then it came back up, and then the last 2 weeks. I mean, we knew this was coming. People were going to take profits off the table.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't
yeah,
they? Why wouldn't they?
yeah. I don't know. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just, see, that's the thing. The market's going to do this. It's going to do that. You just got to focus on the long term. Just got to
yeah,
focus on your plan, and people get emotional. That's the thing. People get super emotional in the market, and if you can take that emotion part out of it, then you're going to do well at some
yeah,
point.
yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Michael, it's been great talking to you, man. I tell you, it's good to get to know you better. I really appreciate your the grounded feel from talking with you, and I'm sure that helps your clients an awful lot. and just to give them the satisfaction that someone is there that's with them and really helping them through this. So if somebody wants to talk to you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so the best way is either through LinkedIn, Michael A. Rivera on LinkedIn. I am for financial advising. I can be reached at Rivera, Rivera dot Michael at principal.com. For life planning, my website is truelifeplanners.com.
All
But
right.
always just feel free. LinkedIn, I'm always on there, active participant, so you can message me there.
Very good, very good. And we'll have Michael's contact information, at least his website stuff and his LinkedIn profile in the comments for this video. So you can find him there as well. But Michael, thanks a lot for stopping by and talking today. And pardon my rambling once in a while. You know, hell, I'm old. I get off on tangents. But I think I think it's really interesting how you're helping people, and I the way that you combine the life planning with the financial planning, I think you're really helping people with their entire self, for lack of better words. And I really think it's cool, man.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I'm super grateful that you were having me on today, Damon, and I really appreciate the conversation. I enjoyed it very thoroughly.
All right, take it easy, everyone. Michael, awesome
All right,
having you. Thanks a lot.
thank you.